choice. Sometimes one must do what must be done. They had no choice. Oh, forgive me, my friend. I have a lot on my mind. I found another piece of the story, and I am another step closer to the truth. It is tragic, bloody, a betrayal, some might say. But they would be wrong. That is just the way of things. Trust me, I know all too well. Anyway, does the Puxel Tech need something? I have new items on offer. Always questions. Never the answers I really need. Look, sorry. Go ahead. A priesthood was formed in service to the goddess, and she taught them alone to wield the power of the living stones. Simple things only, from what I can gather. Heating pots on command, lulling young ones to sleep and things of the like. But there was so much more potential. This divine power was right at their fingertips, but she selfishly kept it to herself. It must have been maddening. Yes, I'm certain it was. They made a plan to trap her. One day a year, she took mortal form and required Thalos to lie with her. Our noble king was dubbed the Bloodless King because he never sired a child. It was because of her. He was under her spell. She was less powerful in her mortal form. So, when that night came around, they used their own ancient magics and captured her. Thalos was enraged and fought back, killing his own kind. They had no choice but to capture him as well. Thalos was driven mad by the goddess. He would not listen to reason. So, they imprisoned him and took control of the kingdom. Knowing the goddess was fond of a royal pet, they bartered his life in exchange for the secrets of her power. They got what they wanted, what they needed to safeguard their society. Using her power, they were able to create living constructs to do their bidding. And so, Japan went from living like savages to an era of swift advancement. Imagine having such power in the palm of one's hand. Power like that could change the fate of our people, even those deemed unworthy of the Thane fruit. It is tragic, but that is the way of history, of the world. One must rise from tragedy, stronger than before. The secret of this power must still be around here somewhere. I can feel it. Trust me, my friend. This day will live on in the annals of history forever and ever. Why? Why? Because I have sacrificed everything for this knowledge, for this power that I am on the cusp of unearthing. This could change everything for me, for all commoners, for all of Yesha. It has no idea what I have endured to get here. The suffering, the loneliness, the ridicule. How the Lamir laughed and laughed at poor Walt. It was humiliating. And then there were those wasted, tortuous years serving Genus. That cruel tyrant who none of us chose, doing anything she asked of me. Anything. I did everything she asked of me, and she asked a great deal. Whenever there was blood to be spilled, there I was in the night, dagger in hand. Important figures, commoners like me, even children. It was the only way to prove my loyalty. I did not mean to. I did not want to, but I had to do it. That was the only way she would ever trust me enough to explore the uncharted jungle. It was for the greater good. It really was. I just wish I could forget their eyes. The look of betrayal in their eyes as they breathe their last breath. As long as I live, I never want to see that look again. My friend. My first and only friend. He must think Walt is a monster. And perhaps I am. But my heart is true. If nothing else, believe that much. If I must. When the ancient Pan left their homeland to escape the plague, several ships were separated from the rest and landed here. Thelos was their leader and helped build a new society, but he soon fell ill with that same plague. He came upon a stone goddess, Ledusa, who cured him in exchange for a year with her. Ledusa also gifted him long life, so when he returned, he cured the survivors and ruled for centuries. The Pan loved him and worshipped Ledusa. If it is in need of assistance, look no further than Walt. Spend well, my friend. Believe in me. Someone must.
No more room. Shit. Here they come. Okay. All right, come and get some. It's over. That won't fit. It's over. Here they come.
Blade and spear, shield and stone. To arms, they come. They come. They come. The rot. They. Oh, a Paxel tech. A terrible wonder. Even for one who has seen many wonders. If its kind walk Yesha foreigner, then surely the wheel of the world is set to turn again. Perhaps it will grind me at last. Pain now outweighs peace in the measure of my days. God murderer. Know it nothing of the wolfless who have voyaged before it? Is it innocent of the lifeblood that stains its hairless hands? Curious. A curious race, Paxeltech are, to be sure. How came I to this wretched state? Its eyes reached the question, before its tongue left home or hearth. The tumble and ruin beneath its tender pads was once a fortification, an encircling bulwark to the greatest conurbation ever brought forth on Yesha's soil. Such faith we put in its solidity. Merchant and marshal, peasant and prince, their souls kneeled at the altar of within and without. But a wall is a false god, built to crumble. The only thing a wall ever truly divides is a fool from his wisdom. The rifts open swiftly. They split the bulwark stone as a hot needle kisses the onion skin of a boil, and the pus poured through on tangled wooden limbs. Yes, the final calamity. Their numbers endless. They rushed upon us like a river in flood. The end began. Teeming with life. The sun has never shone on a city greater, ruined, so that I might not even visit it in dreams, charnel, by the root. Yes, the final calamity. Their numbers endless. They rushed upon us like a river in flood. The end for 40 days. We fought them on these steps. The soldiers fell first, then the officers. Then they called upon the priests. We knew the children would be next. And so we flung our very bodies into the breach. Some were torn apart like green shoots in a glutton's teeth. Others were swallowed whole and vanished from the sphere. I stuck, anguished cork in a malign bottle. It seethes around me. It waits to disgorge its grotesqueries once more upon Yesha's scalded skin. Please, Baxotek, wanderer, it who would do right, put its edge to this cursed snarl. Vent its rage upon it. We Laimir are no strangers to the last voyage. Destroy the knot.
That's it. Now.
Am I? Is this real? Or has insensate madness claimed me? Paxaltech. I have not tasted air unmixed with the foul humors of the tangle in an age's age, nor dared I dream that I ever might again, much less feel the soft touch of good soil beneath my hooves, or the kiss of the wind on my free fur. Faithless, faithless have I been, and yet Paxaltech came, with war in its right hand, and temperance in its left. The Paxaltech came, and I am saved. Two-handed warrior. It has my allegiance, whatever may come. Paxaltech have a gift for death, this much is true, but they are not all destroyers. Perhaps if it fights with us, perhaps the root may yet be crushed under the wheel of time. Take this, though it be a relic of we lamer, stewards of death. Wield it in defense of life. I think I shall linger here a while yet. Many are those who fell on these blood-soaked steps. No, some are now naught but bones. They each deserve the funerary rites of royalty. These I shall endeavor to complete with whatever time is left to me. If its road should ever wind this way again, grace me with a visit. There are yet tales of Yesha, I might tell it, if it cares to hear them shared. On the contrary, it has been ages since I felt so very much alive. Let us first be properly introduced. Once I was called Licht, foremost of the Lemir. High priest of the dead. How I gloried in that title. Would that I had known the irony. A funerary priest of the deathless, the highborn, one who wraps the powerful in glory, and a Muslim who seals the secrets of the eternal empress with sweet seed oil and with night sap. We guarded the flesh of the great and sought their resurrection. Among these trusted sacred pan, I was the utmost. I relish the favor of her permanence. More fool I. For many epochs, the highborn did not fear the flow of time, for the fruit of the Thane tree kept it at bay. But there are other ways to die. Misadventure. The Eternal Empress dreamed of defeating this final terminus. If life could be taken, could it not be given back? The flesh was preserved against that question's answer. This was the province of the Lemir. But let us start at the beginning. Much would I have it know. And to know all, it must know what is first. Would it hear the history of the pan? In the time before time, the pan lived in the place that was. It is said that there came a great plague that ravaged the land so that the fields were seeded only with the bones of the dead and yielded only the cries of the bereft. With his flock drowning in woe, the leader of the Pan held forth a great decree. 100 ships were built to hold 10,000 souls, with their god of many faces cutting the waves before them. The Pan that were ventured across the Vilkmarza, the Dark Sea, through the long night. The Vaunts prayed and the Red Widows wept, for no one knew if the Dark Sea had a far shore. 100 days lit the 100 ships, and 100 nights drew their swaddling across them too. But on the 101st day, as the Red Widow in the foremost ship bowed her horns to the god of many faces, a bird lit between them, singing, "Glory to the Pan, for they have reached the King Mother." Yesha rose like the dawn before them, unseen, untamed, and free. The king who was, him known to the Pan as Kolket the War-Handed, later Kolket the Woebegone, and at last as Kolket the Wise. Quick of blade was he in his youth, a fearsome general who watered the tree of progress with the lifeblood of many enemies. But the exploits of youth brought Kolket no peace in age. They say he took the plague as fate's judgment against his warlike eye. Fate offered a choice: flee the land of his fathers, or end his line as the king of death. Kolket hesitated no more in pilgrimage than he had in war. He raised up ships as once he had raised regiments. He sailed from the place that was with a heart full of hope. He was never to see Yesha's shores. He passed in peace before the crossing's end, greeting death with grace. The god of many faces had been with the Pan since the place that was. Longer, none speak of a time before its guardianship. It was a god as real as the soil beneath us, a god one could visit, a god one could touch. Its ways were not known, but all agreed it loved us and ever would. More would I have it here of this, for this tendril twines with its own. But patience two-handed one, each thing in time. In those days, there was no empress, there were no queens. Kolket the Wise passed on the Dark Sea and left no heir. It was only agreed that the clergy should step in where Kolket had stood. The Vaunts spoke for the many-faced one, and the Red Widows spoke for the sun, stone, sky, and stream. It had been ever thus. Now, they linked hands to cradle the destiny of the Pan. For 80 days, the Vaunts fell prostrate upon Yesha's unfamiliar shore. They prayed for a sign that our searching was over, and that this forest should be ours. On the 80th day, two forms emerged from the depths of the jungle. First came a doe with coat of red. Where it walked, the soil gave forth flowers and sweet berries, and they took it as a sign of grace. But behind the doe came another, a wolf with fur as lightless as the obsidian waves the Pan had so lately crossed. Surely this great beast was a portent of death. Yet, desperate were these threadbare priests of old, and of these visions to their charges, these Vaughns spoke only one. And why not? The doe fills all who glimpse it with a spirit of hope and a sense of growth. It leaps among the shrub and bramble even now, even with Yesha sundered by the root. There are those who think it more than a spirit, a god in waiting. These call themselves the children of the Red Doe. Those who glimpse the doe often glimpse the wolf, for the latter seems compelled to pursue the former. To hear those early Vaughns tell it would be to hear of many different wolves in pursuit, and only one doe. A simple deception, but a far-reaching one. Modern Pan know the truth. What must it be to spend an eternity chasing that which one might catch but may not kill? For the wolf and the doe have often met, antler and tooth, hoof and claw. The doe may spill the wolf's blood, and the wolf may taste the doe's flesh, but never the other's life to take. Yesha itself forbids it. They say the chase has driven the wolf quite mad. With the assurance of the Vaughns, the Pan took to Yesha and she to us. And for a time, there was stillness. Men were born who had never known the land that was, nor the endless sea at their backs. One such was called Genus. She was but 15 springs when she felt the calling of the Red Widows, and not 3 more when she felt the touch of sickness. As Genus approached the door of death, she sought her sisters, for there were no Lamer yet, and it was the Red Widows who ushered the Pan into the soil. But Genus's malady was known to the Widow Mother, to her, to the Elder Pan. It seemed the plague had found them again, even on this distant shore. Genus was shunned, cast out into the jungle, and her name was forbidden from Pan lips. None among them could have foreseen what would come next. Plague-ridden and scorned, the Red Widow Genus had been cast into the jungle to be forgotten. But fate had other plans. After many days in the jungle, Genus emerged. The Pan were humbled, for all signs of plague had been lifted from the young Genus, replaced by a regal gait none could deny. Fascinated, all assembled to hear her tale. And quite a tale it was. Genus spoke of a vision that had come upon her, as she lay in the moss, gasping out her last. In her vision, the plagues had returned. Pan, young and old, wailed and keened and spat their last blood on Yesha's pristine sand. But then, when all seemed lost, a great tree rose out of the jungle, strange and wonderful, and heavy with luminous fruit. This tree, the Thane, she named it, gave all who ate of it a life unending. The Pan embraced it, and their glory stretched on. For 1,000 epochs, Genus rose to power on this. The spire built of words. It is Difficult to say. Genus has had charge of her own legend for an age of ages. Suffice to say, there is enough truth to her vision for me to know her personally, though I was born some 30 mothers hence, and yet, in knowing her, I find its question impossible to answer. But we get ahead of ourselves, two-handed one. By spreading her message of doom and salvation. The Red Widows were easy converts, inclined to believe their sister, and eager to spread her vision to all the Pan. In time, they held more sway than even the Vaughns. It was a great shift. It would not be the last. Among the Red Widows, Genus was quickly elevated to Widow Mother. The crops flourished, and the villages spread. The jungle receded from the shore. Many seasons passed, and Genus grew stooped and lined as all Pan before her had. In her 77th winter, Genus had another vision. The Thane called to her, and she told her people it was time to seek it out. For the calamity was imminent. 500 Pan were assembled to undertake the expedition. Genus herself, a contingent of Red Widows, a party from each of the villages. Many imagined they would never see their queen again. Those that lived long enough came to know the taste of those words. When Genus, now as young and beautiful as the day she first beat death, emerged from the jungle once more, with 49 immortals at her back, she had been reborn a second time, as an Empress Eternal. For years, they searched the forest, battling hunger, storms, and beasts red of tooth and claw. 20 winters passed. Many succumbed to death, or to doubt, by the 21st spring. Only 5 Red Widows and 44 common Pan stood at Genus's side. It was they whom she led into the clearing. It was they who beheld the Thane. It was they who tasted the fruit and felt time's weight fall from their shoulders. No plague has touched the Pan since, but calamity wears faces nearly as numerous as our god of old. Unless I am much mistaken, the Empress lives yet, for no funerary smoke has filled the sky above her ziggurat. If the Pan vanish from Yesha's soil, I imagine she will be the last to depart. With death thus leashed, the eternal Genus and her immortals brought forth an empire heretofore unknown. Great ziggurats were hewn from the living rock, and at their feet grew great cities lit by arcane magics. Genus's prophecies all came about, save one. If only the Pan of that epoch had wondered as it does, two-handed one, what of the great calamity? But none worried, save a few Vaughns. The old ways were dying, and the Empress was not. No achievement seemed beyond the reach of the Pan. It was then that the wolf came. They called it the Ravager, the very obsidian beast the Vaunts of old had glimpsed and hidden. It sprang from the jungle as sudden as a squall. It made no more than mutton of the bravest warrior. Fear fell like night across the empire. Death roamed Yaesha. Ravenous death none could tame. But the story of Yaesha is the story of who tastes the fruit of the Thane tree. 49 immortals begat many more. A deathless aristocracy. They traded favor with the Empress, traded years of life itself like fishmongers at market. There were those who would have seen the beast slain, but the Ravager was never much glimpsed that the Red Doe should not follow, and vice versa. The green things of the jungle sprang from the Red Doe's feet. But on what do green things grow, if not the flesh of departed life? Who knew what would become of the Doe if the Ravager were felled? Who knew what would become of the jungle? Who knew what would become of the Thane tree? It was the twice humbled Vaughns who kept the Empire from vanishing down the Ravager's throat. For the Vaughns had pondered the beast since it first appeared to them on Yaesha's shores. It was they who had learned to listen to Aethir's song. They who learned to appease the Ravager with tribute, with dance, and with music. Balance returned, and the wheel of time rolled on. The song of all living things. It permeates our forest. It whispers in the leaves, thrums in the soil, shines in the sun, babbles in the stream. The Vaughns devote themselves to the song's mystery. They play it to tap its power, as other Pan might use the energy of a crystal, or the heat of a flame. Those attuned in prayer hear it strongest. But all may catch its strain from time to time, even a Paxeltech. Who is to say? For that was hardly the last calamity to befall the Pan at Yaesha. With the Ravager appeased, the Empress dreamed of rule eternal. She should likely have had her wish. But for one thing, the Thane tree, that of the fruit of immortality, began to die. For many lifetimes her permanence hid this knowledge from all who served her, slave and immortal alike. And why not? She had amassed a great store of fruit, and surely something could be done to save the tree. Why crack the very bedrock of her society? But the tree's decline could not be arrested. Fruit was rationed. Noble lineages withered. We lay mere, once prepared for the final death of death. Only those immortals who had fallen in battle or by misadventure. Now, we found ourselves winding wizened nobles in sap and muslin by the hundreds. Perhaps what came next was inevitable. Rebellion, insurrection, revolt. This was the fire that was to sweep through Yaesha's jungle. For a life of lifetimes, the Eternal Empress had hidden the decline of the Thane tree, but like the Vaughns of old, had underestimated the power of one young, plague-addled Red Widow. Genus herself failed to foresee the power of one called Navun. Navun was one of her Eternity's own guards. How she learned of the rot at the roots of the Thane tree, I cannot say. I know only that she had no taste for the Empress's deceptions. Navun fled the ziggurat and spread the news far and wide. Her words found home in the ears of the gull. Yesha's slave caste. No slaves could hope to challenge the power of an immortal aristocracy. But what about a nobility in disarray? One where the great and powerful would soon fight for scraps of fruit like bare-ribbed dogs. They rose, first singly, then in a tidal wave. The Empress found herself at war. Perhaps she might have won, if not for the Destroyer. It bridled when I called it God-Murderer. Surprised I am that it should know so little of the deep track its kind have trekked across our soil. Let us walk those prints now, that it should be enlightened. Ever was Gina served by the Red Widows. She was still Widow Mother. Is still, if such a thing has any meaning now. Some among the widow's ranks forswore tenderness, and became instead her permanence's highest guard. Gina's herself had been the lowest widow in her order, and she had turned Pan society inside out. How fitting, then, that the last and least of her own widow guard should become her greatest adversary. It has heard of Yesha at civil war, of slave with blade of hoe to neck of noble, and noble with point of sword to belly of slave. Into that tempest walked one of its kind, Paxeldeck. I cannot say why, though perhaps it might someday tell me from whence. Whatever its motive, hither came the Destroyer, even as the Pan turned their ravenous gaze toward the fruit of immortality. Our god of many faces remained satisfied with the scant worship of the vaunts and the commoners. It was an ever-present comfort. A guardian we scarcely thought of. The Destroyer, Paxeltech, oh yes, its kind, drove its blade into the pure heart of our guardian. We knew not that it was the god of many faces who kept the root from this world. But in death, many faces' absence was soon felt. In a world already torn by war, where caste let blood of caste, there came reports of some new woe. Travelers spoke of twisted horrors on the road, but we who relished in the weight of this wall only scoffed. Who knew that the very air could rip, that the world itself could tear and spill like a wine-skin under hoof? Oh, how we fought, priest and prince and pauper, side by side, our world's lifeblood drizzling through our fingers as we clutched at the hanging tatters of Yesha's slit throat. Most perished, and I became enmeshed. I thought our tale told, our race run, and yet, among the Pan there is a saying. Why just ask the Rin? As sure as there is iron in the soil of Yesha, there is irony. I gave the impression perhaps that Yesha was uninhabited at the arrival of the Pan, save for the doe, the wolf, the birds, and the beasts. This is not so. The Rin slink Yesha's canopy on leathery wings. Perhaps they once thought to defend their forest. But Lash and Lure put that to rest. Lash, in that no Rin could hope to withstand the onslaught of energy we Pan have learned to draw from Yesha's native crystal. The Flying Ones have no talent for crystal craft. Lure, in that under normal circumstances, Rin eggs reach maturity only with great difficulty. I know not who first discovered the potential for symbiosis between our species. Only that it is a whimsical god indeed who sends the most precious resource one kind could hope to acquire out the hind end of the other. It was a pad-footed Paxeltech who slew our guardian and brought the root. Would it be so strange to see a Paxeltech drive them from our shores? Perhaps. Perhaps as with Genus and the Voon. The strangeness is the point. It has done me a service unpayable. No reward can suffice. But perhaps, if it cannot be rewarded, it can be equipped. Colquette brought war, then wisdom. Its forebears brought the root, but its wisdom stayed the flames, that I might live beyond the hated knot. Take this now, as a token of my gratitude. The Pan must put their faith in action and belief, not weapons and walls. I forever owe it thanks, as shall the many souls scattered on these steps. To them I must tend. The Paxeltech masters the tales of the past as easily as the foes of the future.
Great, more bad news. It won't fit. Looks like I'm full up.
Don't believe it. Is that a pooch? Come here. Come on, boy. Oh, God, it's been ages since I saw one. Man's best friend, right there. Wait, what the... Well, I'll be damned. Either you're a human, or I ate some bad mushrooms. I haven't seen a fellow Earthling in decades. All right, explain yourself, or I start shooting. I'm asking the questions around here, kid. Where did you come from? And what are you doing in my home base? Talk. And if I like what you say, you may just walk out of here alive. So get talking. Then you are from Earth. I knew it. Wonders never cease. At ease. I'm Private Jack Driver. Now, this is gonna sound crazy, but I've been stranded here on Yesha for over a century. I may be an old man now, but I was actually a kid when I first came here. New recruit. Fresh out of boot camp. Life has been trying, to say the least. I would be dead if not for my survival training. Hell, you throw me for a loop here. I feel like I'm dreaming, but well, those types of dreams usually involve go-go boots. Mr. Sandman has lost his touch if I'm asleep. Get in line, kid. The white in my gruff and my horrible back pain tell me I've been waiting a lot longer for answers than you have. I'll go first. It wasn't a question, but glad you're making it easier on yourself. Now tell me, is America still safe? Still free? Did we beat the Ruskies to the moon? Are there flying cars or anything like that? Come on, lay it on me. I don't know what to say. Well, thanks for telling me the truth, I guess. Deal's a deal. What are your questions? Well, this ain't story hour, so I'll try to keep it brief. When I was a new recruit, I was sent here on a recon mission with my squad. We were captured by the Pan. Thanks to our captain, we managed to escape. But we were separated. We never saw our commanding officer again. He must have died and stayed dead. But the rest of us, well, we died and then somehow reappeared at the stone we used to travel here from Earth. We were the same, but older. Bizarre, I know. Long story short, the stone stopped working, so we were trapped here on Yesha for good. We would have died if not for our training and the things our captain had taught us about this world. Damned if I know. We were soldiers, not scientists. I bet Captain Ford could have figured it out. But like I said, we'd already lost him. I'd have done anything to fix that thing. But no dice. We were stranded in this hellhole. Over time, the rest of my squad died, one too many times, and never showed up again. Eventually, you age out of that trick, I guess. Hey, I'm no spring chicken, so I'm likely on my last leg myself. That isn't funny. Don't you dare sully the memory of our dearly departed commanding officer. He was the greatest man I've ever known. Aside from my pops. He deserves better than that. I never told you his first name. Holy smoke. Today just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Well, hell. We thought he was dead. So I bet he assumed the same. That or he escaped, but then couldn't get back through that broken stone. I know he would have come back for us if he could have. I can't believe he's still alive. If I ever reunite with that brave bastard, I'm gonna punch him right in the kisser and then give him the biggest hug he's ever had. Sounds like you've done a lot of traveling. You know, when I was recruited, I thought I'd see the whole world. Never imagined I'd wind up leaving the whole world behind. I'll admit, I miss being around humans. It gets lonely. Oh, I'd give anything to sleep in a soft bed again. Or sit by a fireplace. Do they still have those? With a hot cup of coffee? Shit. I don't usually let myself think about coffee. Some wounds run too deep. Right. If things are as bad as you said, I guess I shouldn't have assumed stuff like that still exists. Never mind. It's nothing important. A lot. I used to write down things that I remembered so I wouldn't forget them. But, well, it got too depressing. I remember seagulls fighting over crusts of bread on the beach. Red, white, and blue flags waving proudly over perfectly manicured lawns. I remember mop tops on television making the girls go wild. Birthday candles, and the smell from Ma's kitchen when she made Thanksgiving dinner. Stacks of new jeans in the stores and kids laughing in the park. And my sweetheart, who I left behind. Her name was Dawn. I remember her a lot. The smell of her perfume. The way she blush when I compliment her dress. Her red Mary Janes. She's dead by now, but believe you me, that chick was far out. One last thing before we part ways. Tell it to me straight. Do you know of a way to get back home? Now, I'm not big on asking for favors. I've been in survival mode the vast majority of my life. But I'm asking you this. When you go back, will you take me with you? Words can't express what I'm feeling right now. Thank you. In fact, here, take this. A little token of my appreciation. It's not much, but it's saved my hide more times than I can count. Won't be needing it anymore, so I want you to have it. Now, go and do whatever it is you came here to do. I'd go with, but truth be told, I'm a rickety old man now. I'd only slow you down. Finish your mission, and come back. I'll be waiting. If you need something, speak up. Do good work out there, kid.
Yeah, this looks important. Okay, this is it.
What can Walt... Oh... be... I am grateful for the company. Truly.
He scrapped with the wrong guy. Whoa! Oh! Oh my god. This isn't looking good.
I wonder what this is.
She'll pay. I swear. That monster. How could she? I swear to... Oh, it is my friend. Thank goodness. I am... not well. Not well at all. Walt is listening. What does it think is the matter? My hopes and dreams have crumbled and fallen. The lost tribe is no more, and the secrets of her power are lost. I will never escape. It is either a life of loneliness in the jungle or of deplorable servitude back home. I cannot go back. I will not go back to that life of misery. But I cannot hide in the wreckage of the lost tribe either, barely scraping by. There is nothing left for me. My dream is dead. I am a walking corpse. It is hideous. Difficult to look at. Being alone with this new truth has been... It has been... Just know that I am glad for the company. Truth be damned! I was not doing this for truth. I wanted to find the lost tribe and join their society. And once I found out about their power over stones, I had foolishly hoped to overthrow Genus and her tyrannical hold over the Pan. I dreamed of a Yesha where every Pan could rise and fall based on their own merits, where they're free to choose what shape their life will take, where there is no cabal of immortal elites who treat us like expendable pawns. But it is over. Finished. The lost tribe is gone, and the goddess, her secrets are her own once again. It is hopeless. What did I find? If it must know, proof of heinous betrayal and cruel misuse of power. And the downfall of my lost tribe at her despicable hands. Once the Pan priesthood had pried every last secret of the living stones from the captured goddess Lydusa, they granted her the mercy of truth. A bitter truth that would ruin everything they'd worked so hard to build. See, Thelos had long ago died from injuries sustained during his capture. A tragic and unintentional loss, as he was well loved by his people. But the goddess went mad! In her fury, she broke free from her prison, and she murdered them. In a cold, cruel rage, she turned the Pan's living constructs against them. And together, they swept through that utopian kingdom and decimated the lost tribe. Only the priests remained, confined to the throne room. Drenched in blood, she demanded Thelos' body, but it had long since been burned. They could not comply even if they wished to, but she did not care. She is incapable of such emotion. She killed them, and that was that. The end of my lost tribe. They're gone. Destroyed. Forever. All because of a failed goddess who did not think us worthy of her power. She must pay. It is wrong. Wrong! Walt is speechless. My lost tribe is no more. Thelos was unintentionally killed in his struggle with the priests. When they eventually told Lydusa, the captured goddess, she escaped and destroyed them all. Every last Pan was ripped to shreds without a trace of mercy. Even the ones who had faithfully worshipped her all that time. Those who had nothing to do with the priests and their schemes. The younglings, the elders. None survived. All because she did not believe us worthy of her power. Must we, Pan, always be treated like dirt by the ones who rule over us? Is there no other fate for my kind? I swear I will make her pay. There must be a way. There it is. That is the end of this story. The end of Walt's dreams. The end of everything. Please, do not make me speak of it again. I am unwell. Ask or do not. Buy or do not. It does not matter anymore. Now. Our time together, it will be missed.
This place gives me the creeps.
Now what? Oh, bag's full. Great. More bad news.
Okay, this is it.
This is nothing.
That was rough.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Have it, beast. Lydusa's precious thing. Give it to me.
Why am I still Shadow Split? I should be whole. I should be me. Why is it not enough? The screams. My screams. It will never end. Not until every beast is dead and gone. Crushed and dead! There is nothing left of me. Broken. Empty. And I shall never sing again. Only scream!
That's over. I can't carry any more of that.
can't be over. Greetings, my friend. Sometimes dreams must come to an end. Isn't that the way? Yes, indeed it is. Walt will find a way to carry on. That said, there's something I need to say. I want to thank the Paxotech for being a friend. It has traveled this road with me, and I know it would travel it back again if I asked. Please know that I find the Paxotech's heart to be true, and consider it a true friend and confidant. For all it has done, I offer this token of friendship. Did it want to buy something? With a friend's discount, of course. Or will my friend be on its way? Every purchase. Our time together, it will be missed. Greetings. Did it want to buy something? It is a Paxotech, but more than that, it is Walt's friend.
Here we go.
Yeah.